Mentioned the names of the victims earlier, just to give our viewers a bit of a sense of who we're talking about here. We have the family tree of the Pattersons and the Wilkinsons. This includes the 4 lunch guests. So Don and Gail Patterson, they're the parents of Erin's estranged husband, Simon Patterson. Now, Simon was also meant to attend that lunch, but he declined beforehand. Then there's Simon's in-laws, Heather and Ian. Heather was the sister of Gail, married to the pastor Ian. Now, Ian is the sole surviving lunch guest, and he has given evidence in the trial of Erin Patterson in recent weeks as well. Justin, we are just minutes away. We know that the verdict was due to be handed down at 2:15. We do have our reporter, Georgie Dixon, in the courtroom. So as soon as we get that news through, we'll, of course, be sharing it. How do these moments unfold inside a courtroom as the verdict is delivered?
Yeah, well, look, the first thing I was going to say, I was interested in your question, Michael, before about how the jury would go about it. Michael and I are probably the worst people to ask because as lawyers, we are never able to sit on a jury. It's something I've always wished I could have done. So many of your viewers would probably have better insights. They're probably sitting at home right now thinking about the time they were on a jury, no doubt not as big as this one. Look, the moments inside a courtroom when it's like a case as big as this, and in particular a murder case, and of course here we've got a triple murder, you can cut the atmosphere with a knife. Of course you have on the one side the prosecution who are desperately hoping for the word guilty. You're also usually got the family of the victims also desperately hoping for that. And on the other side of the fence you have the defence, and in particular the defendant, usually sitting in the dock, or almost always sitting in the dock, desperately hoping for the exact opposite, the words not guilty. So, yeah, it is a really interesting time when you are there, as I am nearly always there, as just an interested observer, not having been involved. Sorry, Justin, in the case that's just been...
break into you there because we just have had the news through from our reporter, Georgie Dickinson, who is in the court, saying that she has been found guilty on all counts. So Miss Patterson has been found guilty of the murders of Don Patterson, Gail Patterson and Heather Wilkinson, and the attempted murder of Ian Wilkinson. She cooked them a meal in 2023 that contained death cap mushrooms, and she has just been found guilty of murdering those 3 people and attempting to murder 1 other. This 12-person jury has found beyond reasonable doubt that Erin Patterson did murder them with a beef Wellington that was laced with death cap mushrooms at her home in 2023. And the jury has also found she attempted to murder the only other person who survived the lunch, who is Ian Wilkinson. This is a trial in regional Victoria that's lasted 11 weeks. It went through 7 days of jury deliberations before this verdict was reached in just the last couple of minutes. Our reporter, Georgie, who's in the court, is telling us that Erin Patterson sat motionless in that courtroom as the verdict was handed down. We'll be crossing to Georgie momentarily when she gets out of that courtroom to give us a bit more insight into how that was delivered and Erin Patterson's reaction. Justin, I apologise for interrupting you there. We've got the news through now. Guilty.
Not at all.
It's a huge decision from those jurors.
Yeah, interesting that she sat motionless. You could easily imagine some reaction. Could be that she sat that way because she knows it's true, that she knows it's accurate. We can now call Erin Patterson a murderer. This is a triple murder and an attempted murder as well. So the length of time she will serve, be sentenced to, will be very significant.
Michael, I'm also being told that now the jurors have left the room. Erin Patterson was sitting beside the 2 court officers in the room. She continues to have no expression as that verdict was handed down and as others in the courtroom reacted to that news. Her friends who had been attending this trial as well, they were in the front row, I'm told. They were very upset at the news that she was found guilty, but Yes, very interesting to see no visible reaction from Erin Patterson.